Racket Club. Is that right?
Ready?
You wanna tell us about, that's a subdivision case.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The first case tonight, S052611, is final map approval for Everly Phase 4B resurvey number 1.
All right.
Get the birch tree.
Oh, so sorry.
All right.
I'm so
Birch-
glad you're paying
birch tree?
attention. It was a test and you passed. Yay. Sorry about that. A case continued from the April 6th meeting. S122550, final map approval for Birch Tree Swim and Racket Club. This is zoned R1, single family residential, located at 3585 Burnt Leaf Lane. The purpose of this application is to re-subdivide 3 lots on 1 acre into 2 lots. This case is approved contingent upon receipt of a final signed Mylar.
Can you tell me what they're doing? I mean, it's all part of the rack and tennis. How they're gonna divide it up?
Matt, can you zoom out a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, the swimming pool itself and the accessory buildings associated with it are going to be located on Lot 1. There are some former tennis courts that are on the lower levels, and those are included on Lot 2. Not entirely sure at this point whether or not the future use of that will be for tennis courts or if it would be redeveloped as a residential property. Our understanding is the applicant in this case, the Birch Tree Swim Club, would like to divest and sell Lot 2 with the tennis courts on it and utilize the funds received from that sale to reinvest in the swimming pool.
Okay, but now, are we gonna have a problem on Lot 2 when they wanna put a couple of houses on there and it doesn't really have any road frontage?
The representative of the case did ask about the developability of that lot, and we supplied them with the number of units it would be able to handle based on the road frontage. And with a road frontage of 75 feet required in this particular zoning district, there's one residence that could be placed on the lot, unless there was a developmental subdivision of that property, including a stub street.
You mean they would have to purchase some property from somebody to get in there?
No, sir. There's enough front.
On the side there's a right-of-way that you can get to it? I didn't see that right-of-way on the left.
The proposed Lot 2 includes the area noted as Lot 3, Block 2, with frontage on Atkins Trim Boulevard.
Okay.
So the frontage for Lot 2 is approximately 125 feet.
Okay.
I've got a couple questions. First off, are the tennis courts on the upper, that's on Lot 1?
No, ma'am.
So all the tennis courts are in Lot 2?
All the tennis courts are on Lot 2.
Okay. And next question, I remember the first time this came to us, there was a question about ownership of one of the parcels. I guess it was right there on Burnt Leaf Court. It was a question, I guess, of the city?
That particular tract of land was taken out of the subdivision plat. Okay. It is not included in this revised edition.
Okay, so no longer any question regarding that? Okay.
Not as it pertains to this plat.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Next case is the,
All right, next case we have is conditional use case carried over from last month. This is for 3599 Deerfield Drive, a group care home. The applicant is seeking to reclassify their home daycare from what our ordinance defines as a family daycare home with a maximum of 6 children allowed to a group daycare home which would have a maximum allotment of 12 children. We don't have any additional comments or alterations to our comments from the last meeting. We are not providing a positive recommendation on this case. Should the Planning Commission decide to offer a favorable recommendation to the City Council, we've outlined some conditions that we would recommend you place on your recommendation. However, I do note that we had a couple of additional property owners and residents on Deerfield that communicated to our office their opposition to this case. I think we were looking, how many? Three additional communications. Oh, for three total communications in
You
opposition.
haven't been in contact with them all month?
I've not.
Okay. You want to go over your recommendations, if it was approved?
Let's see, the recommendations for conditions that we have would it be, number one, all the upgrades outlined in the application be successfully planned, permitted, completed, and inspected, and a new certificate of occupancy be issued prior to the increase in number of students being allowed to occupy the building. Now, that particular condition is a loaded one because, all of the improvements from sprinkler system to new walls, all of that would need to go through a planning and permitting process whereby our fire department and our building department would review all the plans for code compliance prior to issuing a permit, and all of those improvements would need to be inspected and a new CO issued. So there's a lot built into that particular condition to make sure that any improvements that are made meet the latest and greatest with the fire and building codes. The second condition we recommend is no pickup or drop-off service on Atkins Trim Boulevard. It's a busy street, a higher volume street than Deerfield, and we just do not believe that it is conducive to drop-off and pickup. Number three, the group daycare shall serve a maximum of 12 children. That is in relation to that particular classification in our zoning ordinance. I know the applicant mentioned not having a number as high as 12 children on site, but as far as the ordinance is concerned and DHR is concerned, 12 is the cutoff. She can have, under that licensing, up to 12 children, and I'm not sure how we monitor anything less than that.
So you don't believe if we made a motion to approve with 8 kids, you think the city would have a problem monitoring?
I do.
Okay.
So, we have a problem monitoring under 12, but how will we even monitor if it goes over?
If it goes over 12, we do have DHR that inspects the premises, and
I understand that. The comment was, my question was, how can we as a city, not DHR?
we are, in our code enforcement side, complaint driven. So if we receive a complaint regarding an excessive number of children, we can go and inspect the case. Otherwise, it's not something that we have routine inspections of, at least from a code enforcement side.
And that's why I'm asking.
Yep.
If we say you're relying on DHR, then we're relying on DHR whether it's 8, or we're relying on it whether it's 12.
You would be relying on it largely?
If we
for the
approve
12.
this, DHR is going to allow 12 regardless of what we say, right? But we could make a motion to approve with only 8. But you saying we have a hard time enforcing that?
I just think it would be difficult for us
Don't
to track.
think that the code enforcement people could do it if they got a complaint?
If they got a complaint, it's possible, but
Well, it really doesn't, it's be the same thing as if they had 12 and they got a complaint. It's possible,
yes,
but it's putting a lot on our people, right? Yeah, okay.
that's my take. I don't know if building or fire's
I
got a
see a
different
big nod,
opinion.
yes,
but-
back there. Okay,
So, sounds like we're all together on
right,
that one.
okay.
Let's see, number 4, hours of operation would be 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Number 5, no employee parking would be permitted on the street, and that's Atkins Trim or Deerfield. And number 6, business owner would be required to renew their business license with the updated classification prior to a new certificate of occupancy being issued.
So I didn't ask, I was waiting to go through it for you. Yeah, so what is new on the recommendation requirement that was not on it from when we met the last time?
Nothing.
So the no pickup on, no pickup on Atkins was on there originally?
Yes.
Doesn't look like she's here.
Well, I got one Deerfield on it. Atkins is the one that's on the corner.
Atkins is,
But the house is on the corner.
house is on the corner facing Deerfield. Atkins Trim is to the south.
Okay, now, I just want to make sure that, because absolutely, Deerfield is where the tenant had, had someone parking on that street, so it's allowable on that street, which is what we were discussing. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Well, they were parking on the street. I know that became part of the discussion last time. But, yeah, our main concern is no pickup or drop-off service on Atkins Trim.
Any more questions? All right, let's move on.
All right, S 052611, final map approval for Everly Phase 4B, resurvey number 1. The site is zone PUD, PUD, located at 4584 and 4588 Oakdale Road and 1959 Hart Pine Drive in Everly. The purpose of the plat is to reconfigure the lot lines between lots 5658 and 5659 and lots 5663 and 5664. Staff recommends approval.
Any questions? Okay, keep moving.
All right, next item we have is a conditional use case, a new conditional use case for Dogtopia. Proposed location 5361 US Highway 280. This particular location is within a shopping center with Big Bad Breakfast and Trampled by Tacos. If you are familiar with the area, it's adjacent to the Walmart on 280 and close to the intersection of Highway 280 and 119. This particular application is seeking conditional use approval to have doggy daycare service at the location, and they are requesting a capacity of 120 animals located on site. There's a little over 5,000 square feet total with the building itself, and we are looking at about 4,000 square feet for animal play area that would be involved with this. I was trying to get to a slide that had a little bit more of the nuts and bolts. So staff reviewed this request, and we do note a couple of things. One, that they are not proposing to have any outdoor component for this application. So that is a difference between this application and the last couple that we have dealt with, the Camp Bow Wow in Bluff Park, as well as the Pet Paradise in Tattersall. Both of those had outdoor components that I know that we had residents and business owners in the area that were concerned about the noise generated from that. This one does not have an outdoor component. It would be more in line with the pet suites operation that we approved some years ago on Highway 150. So with that being said, they are asking for a maximum capacity of 120 animals on site, which is, they actually had a breakdown. It's roughly 33 square feet of playroom per animal, roughly in line with their other locations throughout the southeast. And so staff reviewed that component. We also reviewed the sound management plan that they submitted with the application. They submitted a waste management plan with the application, as well as a parking study looking at the overall site, the trips generated by this particular development, to see if the site would accommodate the parking needs for this particular user. We also confirmed that ALDOT will not require any additional improvements to the access for this site. We do have that in writing from ALDOT. And we also confirmed that the site will have animals kept at the facility overnight. And we have included recommendations regarding conditions for monitoring and emergency access. So with all that being the case, in reviewing the packet, staff are prepared to recommend approval conditioned on the following. One, that the max capacity for animals on the site shall be 120. Number two, that the sound management plan is implemented as submitted. 3, that the waste management plan is implemented as submitted. 4, the dumpsters on site shall be serviced sufficiently to prevent noxious odors. Number 5, the owners shall install a video monitoring system and have the facility under surveillance during all operating hours. Number 6, the owners shall install a Knox box or other acceptable means of permitting emergency services to gain entry to the facility, particularly after hours, the overnight hours. And number 7, the business shall obtain a certificate of occupancy and business license prior to opening. The comprehensive plan supports general commercial development in this vicinity.
Okay. Tim, can we talk about the sound management plan?
Yes, we can. So they are proposing sound attenuation between this unit and the adjacent units, anywhere where you have the dog play area within the facility or any area housing the animals, separated by a demising wall from another tenant space. They are including a sound attenuation model that includes a 1-inch air gap, as well as a dual wall system on either side of that 1-inch gap. The information supplied to us indicates that that particular sound attenuation model will have a grade of approximately 70. And I'm looking for the actual measure. By comparison, with that same factor, I went back and looked at the Pet Suites site and the sound attenuation that they built into their walls, their exterior walls, and their sound attenuation graded out at 56. So at least what is being proposed at this location grades out at a higher level of sound attenuation than the Pet Suites.
The only difference I see is you've got common walls with tenants versus nobody beside the other one.
That's right.
Did I hear you say they were gonna do it only on the areas that the dogs were gonna play at, or were they gonna do the entire facility?
Any wall shared with a pit area, it's in the slide deck.
Okay, so the office area or the reception area won't have that, but everything else will?
There will still be some sound attenuation. It won't be to the same level as that between, here we go. There are multiple types of walls that they are pointing out. You have the demising walls with the adjacent tenants. We'll have the highest level of sound attenuation with it. And then you have spaces between the areas where animals are kept and areas where you have other activities that do not involve the animals that'll have a different sound attenuation, not to the level of the play area with the adjacent tenants, but there will still be some sound attenuation. They did note that the sound attenuation that they're building into the walls are running from floor to roof deck. So they are including the ceiling space, the attic space as part of that to ensure that it's completely sealed.
Matt, can we talk over the, because I just remember the other ones we were talking about previously, the waste management piece of
Yes. So as far as the waste management is concerned, again, this is completely indoors. Any liquid waste that is produced by the animals gets treated, and there are drains built into the floor system that go to the sanitary sewer. So liquid waste ends up treated, going to the sanitary sewer. Solid waste is collected, double bagged, put into an on-site storage for waste, and then that is bagged twice a day and taken to the dumpsters on site. The dumpsters are enclosed, and because there are restaurants on the site, there did appear to be water drains to the sanitary sewer at each of the dumpster pads. They are fully enclosed. They're also including in their waste management plan treating the dumpster enclosures every so often to ensure that there's no odor buildup there. Our conditions, the way we've set them out, not only do they need to be clean, but they need to be serviced, the dumpsters themselves, sufficiently to prevent noxious odors. But that's a general rundown of the waste management plan.
Are the dumpsters enclosed and covered?
Yes, they are covered.
Okay. Has there any health department issues been raised? You see any potential problem with the health department in this?
I don't. I mean, you just have waste that is mingling from the restaurants and the doggy daycare. You don't have any mingling with the restaurants themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, the dumpster pads are covered, enclosed.
You got water?
Water access and drain to the sanitary sewer.
Any other questions? Okay. One more case?
The last case that we have is zoning previously annexed property on South Shades Crest Road, 3960 South Shades Crest Road, from not zoned to our R1 single-family residential district. The property itself meets the development criteria, the property size requirements for this R1 zone, and the property that is within the city limits in the vicinity is also zoned R1. So we're recommending approval of an R1 zoning at this location.
Any questions on this one? Okay. We're going to get the meeting started in about 5 or 10 minutes. We've got to do a little bit of work, and then we'll start the meeting.